Part 82. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 812. The essence engraved in the jade liquid of heaven and earth possesses the fragments of the Great Road, and has the opportunity to realize and become a king. Even if you don't use it yourself but sell it, it will be enough for all major forces to fight for it, and its wealth is of immeasurable value. This is definitely a secret treasure of heaven and earth, which shocked Sumi, the Dachan king, with greed in his eyes. He didn't expect that following a young monk, he would find such amazing wealth. This was such a great opportunity that he couldn't wait to pounce on it immediately. Qin Feng was suddenly startled. The aura of the Dachan king near the valley spread across the sky and the earth. As a result, he was accidentally approached by a king, which shocked him very much. He turned around and looked, and a pair of monks appeared behind him. The leader was a monk of the second level of the king, with extremely extraordinary strength. If Qin Feng had not broken through to the sixth level of the princes and met such a great king, he might have been in trouble. But at this moment, facing this second-grade king, he felt relieved. Brush. In front of Dachan King Sumi, Qin Feng took out a jade purification bottle. The jade purification bottle glowed and collected all the jade liquid from heaven and earth. Such a scene completely ignored the Dachan King Sumi, which made the other party extremely dissatisfied, with a frightening cold look in his eyes. Hand it over. The Dachan King Sumi's eyes flashed. This heaven and earth jade liquid made him extremely excited. Between his long palms, a stream of light penetrated towards Qin Feng cave, which was extremely dazzling. Qin Feng's eyes flashed, and golden runes were also flowing between his palms, and he waved his hand. When Sumi saw this, the corners of his mouth curved in a cold arc. The opponent was only at the realm of a prince, but he wanted to physically confront a great king. He was simply seeking death. At this moment, Sumi's palm was covered with king's runes, and he was ready to slap Qin Feng to death on the spot. Bang! However, Qin Feng's physical body is extremely strong. Even if Sumi's cultivation is as strong as a Dachan king, it is still not enough. Sumi's palms trembled violently, and his tiger's mouth was shattered by the shock, and blood flowed. This was unacceptable to him, and veins popped out on his forehead. You actually made me hurt. Sumi, the Dachan king, was extremely shocked. He did not expect that the opponent's physical body was so strong. The confrontation with the king's physical body, actually resulted in his being injured. You must know that he has been famous for a long time, and the body of a great king is like fairy gold, able to crush the strong men in the realm of princes. But such a body, which was like fairy gold, was actually injured by a junior monk. Such a scene was so transcendent that he couldn't accept it. Who do you think you are? It's weird not to get hurt. Qin Feng's eyes were calm. He looked at Sumi and the several followers behind him, looking calm and calm. Hand over the jade liquid and I can spare your life. The palms of Sumi, the Dachan king, glowed, and in the blink of an eye, his cracked tiger's mouth was completely closed, leaving not even a wound. His words were not high-spirited, but they carried a terrifying murderous intention. The divine power of the great perfection king. Although he knew that his physical body was not as good as the opponent, he could refine and obliterate the opponent with the pressure of divine power alone. How dare you take advantage of my yi? You are on a narrow road. Qin Feng's words were not high. He rode the holy beast white elephant with an extremely cold majesty, overpowering Sumi and the followers behind him, appearing to be happy and fearless. Boy, you are so brave, you dare to speak like this to our young master. At this time, a follower behind Sumi shouted, and at the same time, he waved the fairy sword in his hand and slashed towards Qin Feng, wanting to vent his anger on his master. Between the heaven and the earth, a gorgeous divine flower appeared, and the void was thrown away, with a cold killing intent, extremely dazzling. Who do you think you are? You dare to attack me? Qin Feng didn't dodge, his eyes turned cold, and he raised his hand to press forward. At this moment, the 12th yin and the sun intertwined in his palm, and the kunpeng moved for 9 days. It was instantly displayed, and the terrifying light shrouded the follower. Puff. Without any suspense, Qin Feng's kunpeng moved the sky and directly bombarded Su Mi's follower, killing the opponent and the immortal sword into nothingness. Dare you! This scene made Dachshund King Su Mi furious. Qin Feng actually killed one of his servants in front of him, which showed that he did not take the king seriously at all. At this moment, the divine inscriptions all over his body were intertwined, making the place where he stood seem to have turned into a killing field, as if the god of death were still alive. Why don't you dare? He was the one who made the move first. If you don't appreciate it and leave quickly, you will end up like this person. Qin Feng looked at Su Mi calmly, not caring at all. If the other party wanted to kill him, there was absolutely no reason to hold back. If he died, he could not blame others. So what if it was my people who made the first move? I can kill my people. Who do you think you are? You dare to kill my people? The Dachshund King Su Mi's hair moved without any wind. There was a terrifying murderous intention flowing in his pupils, making him look extremely proud. As a great king, he has a kind of majesty in himself, and he is even more arrogant and domineering on weekdays. How can he accept it after seeing his followers killed by young monks? Do you think this is your home? If you want to kill others, you have to be prepared to be killed. Qin Feng's expression was still calm, but his words became cold. The cause of this incident was entirely provoked by the great king and his followers. What's more, these people had no good intentions and wanted to rob his heaven and earth jade liquid. There was nothing to say. If they didn't leave, they would be killed. The commotion caused here naturally attracted the attention of some cultivators in the distant sky. The great kings were all fighting against the divine wood demon king with all their strength. On the other side, there were cultivators confronting each other, which immediately attracted people's attention. Many cultivators looked here and wanted to see what happened here. However, there were still 6 dragon mountains with heaven and earth jade liquid that had not been obtained, so Qin Feng was too lazy to get entangled with them. What's more, the confrontation between the divine wood demon king and the great prince in the valley was already in a white-hot stage. They all fought with real fire. The king's might was so great that it almost turned the secret realm upside down. Some people opened up a battlefield here, which naturally attracted some curious people who wanted to watch the battle. Master, kill him quickly. The ex-husband must have the same opportunity. After all, there are still 6 or 7 dragon mountains with restrictions that have not been broken. At this time, a servant beside Su Mi said that the opportunities in the dragon mountains are extremely deep. After their master gets them, he will definitely not be able to use them all, and they can also benefit from it and have endless benefits. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fa. Chapter 813. This heaven and earth jade liquid is extremely attractive. Even the great King Su Mi cannot escape the temptation, not to mention his followers. Do you need to teach me how to do it? Su Mi snorted in dissatisfaction. Although he knew that his servant just wanted to quickly end the matter to avoid more trouble, it still made him very unhappy. I dare not. Hearing this, Su Mi's follower lowered his head instantly. He raised his hand and slapped himself twice, because the death of a follower brother made him feel the same, so he was a little flustered. Ha ha. Ching Ching laughed instantly when he saw this scene. In his opinion, the monks in front of him still couldn't figure out their own situation. The other party actually taught his servant a lesson at this moment. This obviously didn't take him seriously and thought he could control the overall situation. What happened? There seems to be a dispute near Longshan. Some cultivators have cultivated the divine power of the sky eye. They are all staring at the scene at Longshan. There is a strong smell of gunpowder in that place, and it emits amazing divine power fluctuations. However, more cultivators' eyes are still attracted by the battle between the Demon King of the Divine Wood and the Great Accomplishment King. After all, only a few people look at Qin Feng and his figures. If you don't hand over the jade liquid, then I will come to take it myself. The Great Accomplishment King Su Mi made a light sound, and a fairy sword appeared between his palms and fingers. This fairy sword looked dull, but it exuded a powerful momentum. As he waved the fairy sword in his hand, there was an amazing divine power fluctuation, and a blue dragon appeared, swooping towards Qin Feng. This scene was indeed shocking, which frightened many cultivators. Although the might of the Great Accomplishment King Su Mi could not be compared with that of the Demon King of the Divine Wood, it was very rare for a king to attack a young cultivator. Qin Feng sat on the white elephant, his whole body flowing with brilliant golden light, not moving the God King's body, looking calm and composed. That blue dragon sword light, flowing with a strong aura, locked Qin Feng and pierced through him. Chi! A brilliant sword light flew across the mountains, breaking through the extreme speed, like a dragon and a sword, destroying all obstacles. Where the sword light flew, countless boulders and vegetation were shattered, and the terrible energy made the rocks and the ground cracked, with overwhelming power. Swish! Qin Feng was fearless, he raised his hand and pressed forward, interweaving the moon and the sun at his fingertips, trying to hit the sword light hard. Boom! A loud noise came from the sky and the earth. Kunpeng moved the 9 heavens and collided with the blue wolf. The terrible power was very terrifying. A huge explosion occurred in the sky. Kunpeng and the blue dragon circle beams exploded, turned into endless halos, and dissipated between the sky and the earth. In the distance, countless cultivators were shocked when they saw this scene. The power of the sword and palm was too terrifying. A strong man in the vassal realm was able to resist the attack of the great king and was invincible. This shocked everyone. It's interesting that he can block 10% of my sword light. The great king Su Mi sneered. Qin Feng waved his hand to block his sword light, which shocked him greatly. He was not as calm as he appeared. You know, he is a great king who can crush the cultivators in the vassal realm, but his attack was blocked by the opponent. Such combat power is simply too transcendent. Nearby, Su Mi's followers calmed down after hearing this. Originally, they were shocked when Qin Feng blocked their master's attack. However, at this time, after learning that their master only used 10% of his combat power, they really felt relieved. Otherwise, the vassal's ability to resist the attack of the great king would make people terrified. Haha, I didn't use any strength at all. Qin Feng's response was still very calm. Facing the attack of the great king Su Mi, he seemed very calm. Just now, he didn't even use the 9 forbiddens to take Su Mi's attack. It can be imagined how terrifying his combat power would be once he opened the 9 forbiddens. Buzz. At this moment, the great king Su Mi didn't talk nonsense, but used the secret method of cultivation. This is the superposition method of their sect, which can make his combat power quadruple. As he waved the fairy sword in his hand again, a huge blue dragon appeared again between heaven and earth and roared suddenly. The terrible sword light shook the world, and the king rune was engraved on it, blowing up a hurricane and submerging the world. This is the embodiment of the great king's divine power, and his divine power is unimaginable. At this moment, even the holy beast white elephant changed his face. Such a terrible general, even as a king, it dared not to hit hard, and it could not bear it at all. In the distance, some monks were even more shocked. Even though they were far away, they could still feel the terrifying killing intent. That huge blue dragon and strange phenomenon raised their heads and roared in the sky. How could the young human monk resist? A trifling trick. However, Qin Feng was still not afraid. In an instant, he stood on the top of the 9 forbidden peaks. In his palms, he intertwined the moon and the sun to strengthen his palms. In an instant, the immovable God King shone on Qin Feng's body. He swung his arms suddenly, and a huge palm print appeared, grabbing the swooping blue dragon. Qi La. Qin Feng swung his arms and pulled suddenly. Between his palms, divine light burst out, and the moon and the sun were extremely terrifying. The sword-light blue dragon that swooped down just now was torn apart by Qin Feng in the void, and the scene was extremely shocking. A huge blue dragon was torn apart by humans between heaven and earth, and the dazzling golden light flooded the world. He just blocked the virtual attack of the Great Accomplishment King, and this scene shocked people. Even from a distance, it made people in the distance terrified. After all, this real scene that came into the eyes was more touching than any language. Even the followers of the Great Accomplishment King Su Mi were stunned. Their master's sword vision was actually torn apart in the void by this young cultivator. This was too unusual. After seeing this scene, even the Great Accomplishment King Su Mi was shocked. Although his cultivation was only the second grade, it was far beyond his peers and was extraordinary. And his combat power, after being blessed by the secret method 4 times, was even more terrifying to the extreme. Even some of the older people in their section I can't stand up to him. But at this moment, his death-seeking was shattered by a cultivator in the vassal realm. Moreover, this scene was too shocking. The opponent was younger than him, but his fighting power had already exceeded his expectations. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 814. Such a scene really shocked Su Mi. He felt that the young man in front of him was more amazing than the most powerful geniuses in their place. This was very unusual. You know, according to rumors, a very amazing genius appeared in Dongzhou. This person caused a disaster in the realm of the princes, and thus also attracted the attention of the kingdom of God. The holy emperor of the great Shang clan in Xiankong prefecture issued an edict to recruit him into the country, and he was one of the many geniuses who came to the lower world. After he came to the eastern region of Dongzhou, he accidentally heard about this sacred tree cave, so he came here to explore the opportunity. But he never thought that he would meet such an extraordinary being here, which shocked him greatly. Could it be that the geniuses in the lower world are all like this? Are you really just a pig and monkey in the 6th level? Su Mi was extremely shocked. He asked suspiciously. Qin Feng's performance was beyond his expectation. That's right, feel free to take action. If I can't block your attack, I will lose. Qin Feng was quite indifferent. Although the other party was only a second-grade king, he was more extraordinary than all the kings he had met. This person's qualifications are extraordinary, far beyond the average king's living fossil. He is extremely young, and his whole body is filled with bright golden light, which floods the world and makes him transcendent. Su Mi was shocked when he heard this. He originally thought that Qin Feng had hidden his cultivation level and was higher than him, so he couldn't see through it. But now, after hearing the other party's sworn admission that his cultivation level was not hidden, he was shocked. For vibration. Brush. He took action again, and the fairy sword in his hand burst out with immeasurable light. The terrifying divine power surged. His power doubled again, and he used powerful secret techniques. This is the secret method in their section. The combat power can be stronger than the wave. At this time, the power is doubled, much stronger than before. Qin Feng was sitting on the white elephant of the holy beast. He did not move the divine king's shield, and it was like a golden bell was turned upside down on his body. Divine inscriptions were engraved on it, emitting brilliant divine power. Under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, the Pseudo God King was extremely strong, and Qin Feng waved his hand forward. His fist became extremely bright, and the Kunpen moved for 9 days, transforming from yin and yang into yang energy, and a huge roar was heard. This is a move that Qin Feng evolved by using Kunpeng to move the yin and yang of the 9 heavens. With the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, he instantly broke the void. With a clang sound, a loud noise came from the void, and Qin Feng punched Su Mi's sword light, which shattered into pieces in the void and turned into powder. This scene made everyone present change their expressions. With their cultivation in the domain of princes, they could still be so calm against the peerless talent of the second rank of the great successful king. This scene shocked everyone's heart. What shocked the monks even more was that the extremely ordinary grey elephant under Qin Feng's body showed no cowardice at all under such attacks. This was obviously not in line with common sense. You must know that the souls of ordinary ferocious beasts will tremble when faced with the threat of the great king. How can they still stand in the field? And that grey elephant looked ordinary, but under the divine power of the Dachshund king, it could still calmly carry its owner and float in mid-air. This scene shocked everyone. It's interesting, you can also try my sword light. Qin Feng's cold words came out, and his immortal killing sword appeared in his hand, flowing with terrifying light, dazzling. Brush. As Qin Feng waved the fairy sword, a huge phoenix god appeared between heaven and earth and passed across the sky. Under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, the phoenix divine form slashed forward at an extremely fast speed. The bright divine light cut through the void, and terrifying divine flames flowed out. At this moment, Su Mi was shocked. He was also a well-known genius in their place, but at this time, he discovered that the power of Qin Feng's sword was extremely powerful. That terrifying sword light and the transformed divine form had the power to overwhelm the heaven and earth, and sent a message to his soul. Brush. Even if such a tree was as powerful as him, he would not dare to attack it. His steps suddenly became clumsy and he dodged away. However, this blow still hit his body. The body protecting armor and the king's runes on his body shone brightly, and a brilliant divine flower appeared on it, blessing his body. However, even so, his protective armor burst out with a flash of fire and became charred black under the attack of Qin Feng's sword light. At this moment, Su Mi looked extremely embarrassed. His originally black and sparkling hair looked messy and extremely embarrassed. More importantly, the phoenix god form bombarded his body, making his blood boil. His throat felt sweet, and a mouthful of blood immediately spurted up. However, his pride as a great king made him swallow the blood back into his stomach, which made his face look very strange and red. Huh! Qin Feng was slightly surprised to see that the other party actually caught his phoenix form. After all, the immortal sword in his hand at this moment was the immortal slaying sword. Its quality reached the golden immortal realm, and its power was extremely astonishing. Moreover, at this time, after his cultivation had advanced to several realms, the phoenix divine form blessed by the 9 forbidden states was also blessed with tens to hundreds of times the power. This kind of super powerful move was actually blocked by the young king in front of him, which was beyond his expectation. This convinced him that this person was definitely born extraordinary, and his qualifications were also very amazing. He might be the son of God from a certain family. You almost destroyed my treasure armor, boy, you completely angered me. The great King Su Mi shouted angrily. He stroked the marks on the armor left by the phoenix god form. Xian Kuking was very angry. The quality of this armor was extremely extraordinary, reaching the level of a celestial being. At this moment, it was actually left with a clearly visible scratch by the opponent's moves, which made him very distressed. Moreover, he found that the immortal sword in the opponent's hand was very unusual. Even in their Xiankong state, it was extremely precious. A cultivator from the lower realm could actually have such an extraordinary secret treasure. He never thought that he would almost suffer a great loss after meeting it. The great King Su Mi was really angry. As a dignified king, he was only about 40 years old and had a terrifying talent. However, after coming to Dongzhou, he was actually injured by a cultivator younger than him, which made him unacceptable. Angry? Just incompetent rage. Qin Feng sneered, and he sat on the body of the holy beast white elephant, glancing at Su Mi in front of him. Just now, he only used the phoenix divine form. If he used the supreme heavenly sword that he had just learned, he felt that he would definitely be able to achieve success. Once he used the immortal slashing sword and unleashed the supreme heavenly slaying sword, he would probably split the opponent in an instant. You know, the golden immortal sword can only exert the greatest deterrence of the immortal slashing sword when it uses the immortal gold martial arts. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 815. Swish. The face of the great King Su Mi was flushed. He was careless for a moment and was injured by the young monk in front of him. If this matter was spread, he would definitely be laughed at by the monks who came with him. At this moment, the monk was still humiliating him and mocking him in every way, which made him even more angry. Once this matter spread to Xiankong province, he would definitely become a laughing stock in people's minds, which was absolutely unacceptable to him. Looking for death. Su Mi was really angry. He was so talented that a huge blue dragon appeared behind him. As the pride of Xiankong province, this was the other party's racial anomaly. The blue dragon intertwined and flowed behind him, exuding a terrifying dragon power, rushing towards Qin Feng, which was extremely shocking. Swish. Qin Feng's mind moved, and the holy beast white elephant carried him across the void and instantly appeared 100 meters away, avoiding the attack of the blue dragon. Just where they stood just now, there was a terrible pressure, ripples in the space, and a strong hurricane blew. This scene was really scary. Su Mi was of noble status and his bloodline was extremely amazing. The battle was too fierce. Kill! Su Mi shouted loudly. For a strong man like him, face was the most important thing. Once it was reported that he was injured by a cultivator from the lower world, it would be too embarrassing. Behind him, the huge blue dragon, with a terrifying aura, swooped down towards Qin Feng again. The terrifying vision, flowing with terrifying divine power, was densely covered with king runes. The void that was circling and strangling in the sky was trembling, wanting to strangle Qin Feng into ashes. And at the same time, in Su Mi's hand, a fairy sword flowed with terrifying sword light, piercing towards Qin Feng, and the essence blue dragon vision followed. At this moment, Qin Feng and the holy beast white elephant were glowing all over, and the immovable God King's cover fell on his body. Under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, his combat power was extremely strong. Dang, clang, clang. A loud noise came from the void, and the sword light kept beating the void. Qin Feng's immovable God King shield spread out real ripples and was not broken. Such a scene shocked Su Mi. You know, this time he used all his strength, but it didn't work. The vision secret method of their clan had no effect on the human cultivator in front of him, which was really unacceptable to him. At this moment, Su Mi knew that he might be in trouble. The young man in front of him was too terrible, and his qualifications exceeded some of the God Kingdom's Tianjiao who were suspended in the air. Unexpectedly, this time he crossed the state, he actually saw such a powerful cultivator in the rumored Dongzhou, which made him secretly shocked. At the same time, this also shows that Dongzhou does not seem to be as decadent as the rumors say. You know, this is just the beginning, and he encountered such a terrifying cultivator, how can it be said to be decadent? If the young cultivator that the great Shang Divine Kingdom is looking for is included, then there are at least 2 peerless geniuses in Dongzhou who can go against the flow and attack the immortals. Such qualifications are simply unbelievable and will make the forces of Suankongs who fight for them. Swish. A cold light flashed in Qin Feng's eyes, and he began to fight back. He used the immortal sword in his hand and the supreme heaven-slaying sword to slash forward. The extremely sharp sword energy rushed forward, causing the swooping blue dragon to collapse on the spot. In the void, the immortal sword destroyed all obstacles and struck towards Sumi. This attack was so powerful that Sumi changed color on the spot. The king runes on his body were completely regenerated, and the runes on his body armor were also completely revived. At this moment, Sumi's divine power was completely boiling, and his own defense power was added to the extreme, and the blue dragon vision also hovered over his body again, protecting him from extinction. Because he felt the terrible murderous intent from Qin Feng's sword, which frightened him to death. At this moment, Sumi's defense was extremely strong. He wanted to stop Qin Feng's terrible sword light. Endless divine light burst out from his body. The king's rune made him a golden cocoon, and his defense was extremely powerful. The monks in the distance all changed color. Such a terrible defense, what kind of strong man can break it? Swish. At this time, a shocking scene happened. Qin Feng's sword of immortals was sharp and broke through the void. The blue dragon vision shrouding Sumi collapsed on the spot, and the sword light was sharp, and continued to rush forward, breaking the protective rune on Sumi's body. Kaka. The sword light of the supreme immortal sword continued to advance, breaking the protective armor on Sumi's body. Such a scene shocked Sumi. Impossible. Sumi didn't believe it at all. You know, the armor he wore was a treasure of the celestial grade, which could protect him from death. But at this time, the opponent's immortal sword easily broke through his defense, and even his celestial armor couldn't stop it. This was quite terrifying. Swish. Sumi retreated violently in an instant, and the sword light of the supreme heaven-slaying sword was still blocked by his body. He appeared in the distance, and between his palms and fingers, 6 great swords appeared in an instant, piercing towards Qin Feng. The speed was too fast. Sumi was worthy of being the pride of Suankang's Hu. Even if he was in such a dangerous situation, he still had a backhand to counter-attack the opponent. It was just a pity that he met Qin Feng. Qin Feng's speed was extremely fast. He wrapped the white elephant and dodged in an instant, and appeared above, looking down at Sumi below, with murderous intent in his eyes. Dang dang dang. Qin Feng shook the immortal sword in his hand, and smashed the 6 divine swords that came from the sky into the void. Qin Feng frowned. Originally, he thought that the attack of the heavenly sword would be effective, but he did not expect that the opponent's body was so strong that it blocked the ultimate blow of the supreme immortal sword. At the last moment, the sharpness of the immortal sword was actually blocked by the opponent's body. That was because a layer of scales suddenly appeared on Sumi's body. That layer of scales was the opponent's innate magical power, and it was the embodiment of Sumi's extremely strong body. You know, Sumi came from the Kanglong clan of Suankang's Hu, and the opponent was a descendant of a divine beast, and his strength was his body. He was in the realm of the king. With the blessing of the scales alone, his body was more terrifying than the immortal weapon. Boy, I have to admit that you are indeed very strong, but our clan specializes in training the physical body. Our flesh, blood, and bones are more powerful than immortal gold. What can you use to resist? Sumi's eyes were cold and his face was extremely gloomy. He didn't expect to suffer such a big loss just after coming to the lower world. This made him unacceptable. The other party was obviously just a cultivator in the realm of princes, but he had many magic weapons. How could he be the fallen barbarian of Dongzhou in the rumors? Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 817. Among these refining materials, there is a star gold scratch card floating. Qin Feng's mind moved, and he took the card and scratched it casually, and then the system prompt sounded. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully using the star gold scratch card and obtaining a middle-level dragon sword of the celestial fairy. As the system prompt sounded, Sumi's weapon, which was just cut off by Qin Feng, suddenly burst into light and connected together, turning into a dazzling fairy sword. Ding, the dragon sword grade has been upgraded to become a top-grade weapon of the celestial fairy. The system prompt sounded again, and the dragon sword was upgraded again. At this moment, this fairy sword is more powerful, far exceeding the dull light when Sumi used it. Good sword. Qin Feng looked at the dragon sword in his hand and nodded with satisfaction. This sword is extremely extraordinary. It is made of dragon horns and engraved with dragon patterns. It is really good. However, he has a sword that kills the immortals, and this dragon sword is not needed for the time being, so he plans to put the dragon sword away first. Many cultivators in the distance were shocked. A great king was killed by a cultivator in the realm of princes. Such a clean and neat method shocked people. Boy, why are you holding Sumi's dragon sword? Where are he? At this time, a man and a woman flew over from afar. Both of them were in the realm of kings. The man was handsome and the woman was beautiful and stunning. They were not ordinary people at first glance. These two people also came from Suankanghu. They were the cultivators who came across the border together after the great Shang kingdom opened the gate of heaven. They just went to besiege the demon king of Shenmue to see if there was any advantage to be taken. Unexpectedly, the demon king of Shenmue was very difficult, so they came to find Sumi and prepared to meet him. However, when they came here, they found that Sumi's breath was lost, which shocked them. Especially when they found that in front of them, there was only a boy in the 6th level of the princes holding Sumi's dragon sword in his hand, which made them burst into fierce light in their eyes. The aura of the great King Sumi disappeared here. There is no doubt that this means that Sumi was killed, and the instigator was the young cultivator in front of him and the sacred beast Bai Xiang under his crotch. Young man, hand over Sumi's dragon sword, we can consider letting you leave. The man among the two cultivators said, staring at the dragon sword in Qin Feng's hand, with a glimmer of greed in his eyes. This Sumi has a great background. The other party is from the Kanglong clan and has extremely rich cultivation resources. But they are different. Their origins are not as good as Sumi. For them, such a secret treasure of the celestial fairy grade is also an extremely precious secret treasure. If they can get it, it will greatly increase their strength. Let his eyes burn with greed. If Sumi dies, his immortal weapon will be ownerless. Even if they return to Suankanghu and use Sumi's magic sword in front of everyone, the Kanglong clan will not blame them. After all, this was the spoils they got after taking revenge on Sumi. As for the words of letting the other party go, it was just to deceive the other party and prevent the young cultivator in front of him from fighting to the death. Are you talking to me? Qin Feng's attitude was extremely calm. He glanced at the two cultivators who appeared in front of him. The other party was not very old, but they had broken through to the realm of the great accomplishment king. Such qualifications were really enviable. This also shows that the rumored Xiankong state has more amazing cultivation resources than the holy land of Dongzhou. Young man, although your white elephant protector is at the 6th grade king, it can only stop one of us after all. If you know what's good for you, hand over the dragon sword quickly. Another female cultivator also stared at the dragon sword in Qin Feng's hand and said, with a cold light flowing in her eyes, she had already moved her murderous heart. They came late for this trip to the secret realm of the sacred tree, and did not find much chalcedony on the first floor. After much difficulty, they met the demon king of the divine wood on the second floor, but they did not expect that the demon king of the divine wood's combat power could be superimposed. Even if the great accomplishment kings joined forces, they were no match for the demon king of the divine wood. So they could only leave in disgrace. At this moment, they could not let go of the newly appeared immortal weapon in front of them, otherwise they would return empty-handed in this secret realm. Protector? Haha. Qin Feng grinned. The two people originally thought that it was the white elephant who killed Sumi, so it was no wonder that they were so strong. However, although the two cultivators were very strong, they were only on par with Sumi, So Qin Feng was not afraid. "Get out of here, or I'll beat you to death." Qin Feng was unmoved. He held the dragon sword in his hand, and his body burst into amazing divine light, and his murderous aura was overwhelming. Looking for death. Looking for death. The two geniuses in the air heard the words and instantly became furious. They held the immortal sword in their hands and attacked Qin Feng brazenly, with their momentum reaching the extreme. Qin Feng's eyes were dangerous. After all, there were two people on the other side. If he wanted to kill them all, it would take some effort. "Go and stop one first, buy me some time." Qin Feng ordered the holy beast White Elephant to stop a cultivator, while he held the dragon sword and suppressed the other great king to fight. At this moment, Qin Feng stood on the top of the 9 forbidden mountains. He used the supreme heaven-slaying sword technique, which was terrifying and powerful. The sky was trembling under the suppression of the sword energy. This supreme heaven-slaying sword, as a martial art of the golden immortal level, spread out a powerful field, suppressing the cultivators in the king realm and not daring to fight hard. Moreover, the dragon sword was extremely powerful in Qin Feng's hand. Although it did not reach the quality of the golden immortal at this time, it also reached the power of the upper grade of the heavenly immortal under the blessing of the system. He stepped on the thunder step and performed the supreme heavenly sword. When he was 48 moves on the ground, he chopped the cultivator alive in the sky. Not only that, dragon fire suddenly burst out from the dragon sword, completely submerging the cultivator and turning them into ashes. At this time, the female cultivator who was originally fighting with the holy beast White Elephant was also panicked. She got rid of the holy beast White Elephant as soon as possible and was about to flee far away. However, Qin Feng would never give her a chance. The upper grade of the heavenly immortal thunder step allowed Qin Feng to cross the void and rushed behind the cultivator in an instant. Cut. The dragon sword spread out a brilliant light and chopped the female cultivator in the void at once. The female cultivator had amazing defense and the king runes were overwhelming, but she still couldn't resist. Half of her body was directly split apart and she was chopped alive in the air by Qin Feng. And at this time, Qin Feng's body was flashing with phoenix flames. He rushed past and burned the great king of Xiankong state into ashes. In the distance, countless cultivators were silent. They looked at the sky, and Qin Feng, who was like a god under the white elephant, was stunned. Qin Feng was really too terrible. With the cultivation of the vassal realm, he killed 3 great kings in a row. Such power made them want to worship him. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 818. After Qin Feng killed the 2 monks in Xiankong state, he got a scratch-off card and some high-grade god-building pills. After collecting all the loot from the 2 monks, Qin Feng rode the white elephant to the next dragon mountain. Here, there are still 6 Longshan mountains of heaven and earth jade liquid that have not been obtained, so we can no longer waste time. Moreover, Qin Feng clearly felt that those Dachshund kings had already decided to quit after being unable to defeat the Shenmue Demon King. If so, if the formation is not broken quickly and the Dachshund kings of Ion see the opportunity to injure the Shenmue Demon King, they will retreat. After burning a stick of incense, Qin Feng used the immortal killing sword to obtain the heaven and earth jade liquid from the remaining 6 stone tablets. This is simply a great harvest. All the heaven and earth jade liquid gathered by the 9 dragon mountain formations have been obtained by Qin Feng. The energy essence in the jade liquid is really too bright and amazing. Qin Feng believes that if he can refine these heaven and earth jade liquid, he is likely to create several great kings again. After solving the 9 dragon monuments, Qin Feng rode the white elephant, the holy beast, suspended in mid-air. As he suddenly took a deep breath, the immortal killing sword bloomed with brilliant brilliance. In an instant, the immortal slaying sword in the sky turned into a giant several thousand meters in size. As he suddenly slashed downwards, the terrifying edge broke through the void. Countless monks in the distance looked at Qin Feng's figure with confusion. They all didn't know why. Everyone looked at Qin Feng in surprise, and they all didn't understand. At this moment, there are no living creatures near Longshan. What is the other party doing? However, the Shenmue Demon King, who was fighting with those Dachan kings, understood and received all this, and it shocked him in an instant. However, it wanted to take action at this time, but it was too late, and it only heard a loud roar. The light drawn by the several thousand-meter-long immortal killing sword swept across the sky, completely breaking apart the two dragon mountains and turning them into ruins. Everything that happened here shocked the attention of many monks, and countless people were confused about what Qin Feng was doing. Could it be said that the monk in the realm of princes is competing with the great kings for power? What happened? Is that person showing off? Many monks were talking about it. They didn't understand what the young man who suddenly appeared was doing. After all, because of the power of the Dachan king, there were no monks nearby, and there were no conflicts. Therefore, the reason why Qin Feng did this, in the eyes of countless monks, was that he was showing off and competing with the Dachan king for power. However, the Shenmue Demon King's eyes turned cold. It turned into a human body and danced its branches and leaves in the void, flying like a demon dragon. As Longshan's formation was destroyed, the power blessing that enveloped the Shenmue Demon King instantly weakened. Such a scene shocked the Shenmue Demon King. It can become the guardian of this place, so it naturally has many younger brothers. At the first moment, at its signal, two kings swooped towards Qin Feng. They shrunk to an inch, and their speed reached the extreme. At the same time, the Dachan kings, who had originally intended to retreat, suddenly felt that the power of the Shenmue Demon King had weakened, which made them overjoyed. They were originally preparing to retreat, but they all felt the opportunity coming, so they regrouped and attacked the Shenmue Demon King with even more terrifying power. Qin Feng's fiery eyes saw the lines in the sky and the earth covering the body of the Shenmue Demon King, and he knew that he had done the right thing. Without the endless energy blessing of the 9 Dragon Mountains, the Shenmue Demon King could only be defeated in the impact of dozens of kings. When they fight until both sides are injured, it is the best time for Qin Feng, the Oriole, to appear. At this moment, Qin Feng discovered that around the Shenmue Demon King, 4 demon kings came through the air. They transformed into a few streams of light and came above him in the blink of an eye. "Take your life!" the leader of the Demon King shouted loudly. At the same time, in the hands of the Demon King, a terrifying spear slashed towards Qin Feng at an extremely fast speed. Qin Feng was deeply surprised. The holy beast White Elephant carried him and moved sideways instantly, avoiding Pai Lian's attack. Just where he had just stood, he was cut open by the Pai Lian in the opponent's hand. The king's rune there burst out with endless killing intent, and the power was quite astonishing. So strong. Qin Feng's eyes were slightly cold. These 4 demon kings are all masters. They all have the strength of the 4th rank of kings. They are true kings. These 4 demon kings are far more powerful than the 3 Dachan kings of Xiankong state that he killed just now. Brush. In the palm of another demon king, a magic knife appeared. As it waved the magic knife in its palm, the space collapsed on the spot, and endless king runes enveloped Qin Feng. Qin Feng's eyes turned cold. These demon kings were all very difficult to deal with, unlike the demon kings he had conquered from the Shanyang secret realm before. Those demon kings all belong to the domain of princes, and the 4 demon kings at this time are all kings. It is hard to imagine how brilliant resources there are in this sacred tree secret realm, which are enough to support the evolution of so many great kings. Brush. With a warning in his heart, Qin Feng moved again and left the place. After he left, countless threads burst out in the air, and the king's runes cut the void and collapsed. If he had taken one step at night, Qin Feng would have ended up being a piece of meat. At the same time, the other two demon kings also came to the field, and the four demon kings surrounded Qin Feng. Their king-level power was extremely terrifying. Qin Feng was happy and unafraid. He rode the white elephant, the holy beast. He looked like a god against the backdrop of the holy beast. He wielded the manual sword of killing immortals and was invincible. He was alone, fighting against the four kings, using all kinds of moves, and the pseudo-god king shrouded his body, blessing his defense. With the blessing of the nine forbidden sword, the immortal killing sword exuded incomparable sharpness, making the four kings tired of dealing with it. These four kings, as the most capable generals under the demon king Shenmue, have extremely terrifying fighting prowess. However, at this time, the four of them attacked at the same time and used various spells, but they could not stop Qin Feng's figure at all, which made them more and more frightened. Brothers, please don't conserve your strength. This young man is far from being as simple as he seems. Once he fails to fulfill his master's instructions, he may not be able to live a good life like us. The Demon King, who was the first to take action, said loudly that Qin Feng's performance was beyond his expectations, which shocked his heart. Although the young man in front of them looked young, with the blessing of the holy beast White Elephant, he was actually capable of defeating a great king like it. This scene made them all tremble with fear, and their hearts were extremely filled with fear. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 819. As the Demon King finished speaking, the other three Demon Kings all went all out. Although their strength was extremely terrifying, they knew that if they did not go all out, Qin Feng and the White Elephant would pose a great threat to them. Buzz. The four Demon Kings were all glowing. They held magic weapons in their hands, and the strange phenomena behind them intertwined, swooping towards Qin Feng. On them, the divine power was like a volcanic eruption, surging in the void, and endless king runes intertwined between heaven and earth, fighting with Qin Feng, and their might was not much weaker than the fighting power of the Shenmue Demon King. The four Demon Kings were fully combat-powered. At this moment, they all transformed into their original bodies. They were holy beasts, and their bodies were thicker than fairy gold. Just dancing, their limbs could collapse mountains and rivers. Ordinary cultivators would be shattered on the spot once they met them. Unfortunately, they met Qin Feng, who was blessed by the nine forbidden immortal sword and used the supreme heaven-slaying sword, so that he could face the four Demon Kings with ease. The battle between the Demon King of the Divine Wood and other great kings has reached a white-hot stage. Qin Feng did not want to get involved for the time being, so he did not use the critical strike stone to end the battle. Otherwise, if he directly killed the four Demon Kings, the Demon King of the Divine Wood would probably feel it, and then the other party would probably pay the most attention to his threat. In that case, Qin Feng would become the target of everyone's loss, which was not what he wanted to see. His original intention was to reap the benefits of the fisherman. He would never attack the Demon King of the Divine Wood until the last moment. Roar. In the field, one of the four Demon Kings, a giant bear, was very brave. Its hair was flying fiercely, its body was glowing, like a silver sun, holding a huge axe. The axe collided with Qin Feng's immortal sword, and its momentum was heavy, and the surging energy was higher and higher, and it was very strong. However, although the four Demon Kings were very powerful, they were not enough to face Qin Feng's nine forbidden blessings. After several dozen consecutive attacks, a Demon King was chopped off by Qin Feng's sword. The other Demon King vomited blood and was seriously injured. The other three kings rushed forward to help. They glowed all over and turned into three lightning bolts to attack Qin Feng. Qin Feng was still fearless. He faced the four Demon Kings as if he was in an empty space. He seemed to be at ease. The golden immortal level immortal sword used the supreme heaven-slaying sword technique with immeasurable power. He took advantage of the victory and flew up from the back of the holy beast white elephant in an instant. He stepped on the thunder and came to the giant bear demon king who was injured by him and chopped him with a sword. The giant bear demon king in the king realm could not dodge in time and was immediately beheaded by Qin Feng. It let out a loud roar. Even though it was unparalleled in its divine power, it still could not stop Qin Feng's supreme heaven-slaying sword. However, the demon king giant bear was panicked, but he had not given up yet after practicing to the great king realm and being able to regenerate broken limbs. At this moment, just as it was about to gather the wound, Qin Feng's sword suddenly flowed with nameless fairy fire, drowning the opponent. In just a breath of time, the giant bear demon king was completely turned into ashes and was killed on the spot by Qin Feng. This scene really shocked the three demon kings in the king realm. One of their companions was killed, and such a scene shocked them. However, in just a moment, they attacked again at the same time and swooped towards Qin Feng, because they knew that if they could not kill Qin Feng, their fate would be the same as this demon king. As for escaping, this idea only flashed through their minds. In this sacred wood secret realm, they had no chance to escape. Once they failed to complete the entrustment of the sacred wood demon king, their fate would be even more miserable. Roar! The three demon kings roared loudly, their bodies were glowing, and the king runes were stimulated to the extreme, merging with the vision, and swooping towards Qin Feng was very ferocious. Qin Feng returned to the holy beast white elephant again like a cat playing with a mouse. He held the sword of immortality and slashed at the other three kings and demon kings. This scene was too amazing, shocking countless monks in the distance, stunned. A heroic young man killed a king. This amazing scene was like a god descending to the world, which really surprised them. The death of a demon king made the distant Shenmue demon king look cold. It was glowing all over. Fighting with dozens of great kings and demon kings, it was also very difficult to lose the blessing of the formation. After it injured more than a dozen great kings, it was injured for the first time. The green liquid flew all over the sky, and the scene was extremely amazing. The other great kings saw hope in an instant. Their black hair was scattered, like the arrival of demon gods, and they attacked the Shenmue demon king. The magic flying sword submerged the Shenmue demon king. There were shouts of killing, branches and limbs flying all over the sky, and the atmosphere shook the secret realm for a moment. So strong. Although Qin Feng was fighting against the three demon kings, he had a sharp eye and did not miss the battle between the demon king of the divine wood and so many kings. Without the blessing of the formation, the demon king of the divine wood could still resist the battle between dozens of kings and remain invincible. This was really terrifying. Moreover, nearly 20 demon kings had been beaten by the demon king of the divine wood and fled with serious injuries. Although such top-level cultivation could regenerate broken limbs, their blood and chi were seriously depleted, which also reduced their strength and they dared not stay for long again. Moreover, there were more than a dozen great kings whose energy was absorbed by the demon king of the divine wood and completely disappeared and fell. This scene was too terrifying. One. Puff. Qin Feng swung the immortal sword, repelling two demon kings at once, and he rushed forward at the same time. He split another demon king in half, and pierced his chest in an instant. The demon king's body was broken, and blood gushed out, dyeing the sky red. At the first moment, a phoenix flew out from behind Qin Feng, and the phoenix submerged the demon king. This was really terrifying, and the remaining two demon kings were terrified. And some low-level cultivators in the distant sky were so surprised that they couldn't close their mouths. No one dared to underestimate Qin Feng. Although Qin Feng only had the cultivation of the 6th level of the princes, he killed two servants of the god Dusk Demon King in a row, which surprised them speechless. Fight. At this time, the remaining two Demon Kings all changed color. They knew that if they didn't fight hard, their fate would be the same as those two companions. At this moment, they burned their blood and energy, and their fighting power doubled. The terrifying might broke out in full force. The Immortal Sword and Immortal Sword, with a light golden light, fought against Qin Feng's Immortal Sword. However, Qin Feng's Immortal Sword was too dazzling. Under the blessing of the Nine Forbidden, its might was excavated to the extreme. The weapons of the golden immortal grade stood at the top of the secret realm. The two peoples and, in the first time, were destroyed by Qin Feng's King Rune. Afterwards, without the protection of the King Rune, their weapons could no longer stop the might of Qin Feng's immortal sword and were cut off in an instant. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 820. In the Shenmue Secret Realm, the kings were mighty and powerful, and the battle here was so fierce that it was boiling. Countless kings besieged the Shenmue Demon King. As great kings, their bodies were extremely powerful. Just by struggling, they caused the mountains and the earth to collapse. If this was the core of the second layer of the Shenmue Cave Heaven, I am afraid that this place would become a ruin under their bombardment. And Qin Feng and the four demon kings opened up another battlefield. After destroying two demon kings, the remaining two demon kings screamed. Qin Feng's immortal sword cut off the weapons of the two demon kings, which made them terrified. At the first moment, they jumped back and fled to the distance, but Qin Feng followed him like a shadow, and the immortal sword slashed forward at once. A sword beam hundreds of feet long appeared and cut a demon king on the spot. The demon king was bleeding profusely. If it were not for its extremely strong body and protective armor, it would have completely fallen under this blow. The demon king was glowing in the air. They knew they couldn't escape Qin Feng's attack. They burned their blood and rushed towards Qin Feng together. As the strong men in the demon king field, they fought more and more bravely against a human cultivator. They killed to the point of madness, their eyes were red, and they were about to lose their minds. At this moment, their bodies were frantic and intertwined with strange visions. The king's rune was blessed on them, making them fight for their lives with Qin Feng. Now, the matter has become a foregone conclusion. The two demon kings were finally defeated in the attack with Qin Feng. Qin Feng's phoenix flame completely submerged them and turned them into ashes. After killing the four demon kings, a star gold scratch card appeared on the spot. Qin Feng scratched the card with a thought, and then the system prompt sound rang. Ding! Congratulations to the host for using the star gold scratch card to obtain 80 lower grade Earth Immortal Swords. Hearing the system's prompt sound, Qin Feng's eyes lit up. This Earth Immortal grade sword is very precious and can bless the combat effectiveness of practitioners. If he can join forces with Qin Daiken on this trip, then he can provide Earth Immortal weapons and destroy the Killer Dynasty. After solving the four demon kings, the battle on the other side is about to come to an end. The Godwood Demon King is extremely embarrassed and his combat effectiveness has also dropped several times. Dozens of kings who attacked it were also severely injured and eliminated by him. Except for some who escaped, only 9 great kings were left. These 9 great kings are the 9 most powerful kings who came here. They are also injured. At this moment, they swallowed the elixir to quickly repair their wounds and join forces to fight the enemy. Qin Feng rode on a white elephant, suspended in mid-air. He quietly witnessed the battle in the field. The battle between the Demon King of the Divine Wood and those great kings had come to an end. He quietly observed all this, preparing to join the battle at the right time. Swish! Suddenly, Qin Feng felt a warning sign in his heart. He felt that he seemed to be stared at by an inexplicable existence. Then, Qin Feng rode on the sacred beast white elephant and moved instantly, leaving the original place. Just as Qin Feng had just left, the original place suddenly exploded. In the space, the King Rune burst out, cutting the sky and the earth into a mess. Such a terrible power can cause great crisis to the strong in the King's field, which made Qin Feng's eyes jump. If it weren't for his amazing sixth sense, he would have fallen in this terrible attack. Demon King of the Divine Wood. Qin Feng frowned. He was shocked and felt different. As he guessed, he was still stared at by the Demon King of the Divine Wood. The one who attacked him was the Demon King of the Divine Wood. However, the Demon King of the Divine Wood was still nearly 10,000 meters away from Qin Feng, but the opponent's attack appeared beside him, which made Qin Feng feel very bad. Chi. At this moment, a tree root on the ground turned into a long dragon and pierced through, and attacked Qin Feng again. The long dragon-like tree root was engraved with the King rune, and its power was so strong that it was as powerful as the 6th level of the King, which shocked Qin Feng. This long dragon is one of the roots of the Demon King of the Divine Wood. In other words, in this valley, the roots of the Demon King of the Divine Wood may be everywhere. This can be imagined, how huge the body of the Demon King of the Divine Wood is. The root is glowing, and the engraved King rune is like a dragon scale. At this time, it opened its mouth and bit towards the white elephant. This scene really scared Qin Feng. The terrible power on the tree root gave him a foreboding. The holy beast white elephant moved, it was injured by the tree root that suddenly jumped out from the ground. At this moment, the godly wood demon king used another trick. Although it was panicked, it was already mentally prepared. In an instant, the king rune flowed on the white elephant's body, and endless flames swept towards the tree root. In an instant, the roots of the godly wood demon king touched the flames on the holy beast white elephant, and instantly curled up and showed facial features. Qin Feng was suspended in mid-air, he stared at the tree root in front of him, the roots had facial features, and it looked like a terrible dragon. And Qin Feng knew that this was actually the clone of the godly wood demon king, and the other party had transformed the clone here in a moment. It can be imagined that just a clone has such a terrible power. How terrifying is the fighting power of the godly wood demon king when he is victorious. After suffering heavy losses in battle with the great kings, the power of the demon king of the divine tree is still so strong. It seems that there will be many dangers in obtaining the fairy flower. Human, you are only a 6th level lord, do you want to deceive me? You are looking for death. At this time, the tree root spoke, and it was engraved with king runes, like scales. In an instant, the tree root changed, and its roots took root in the void, absorbing divine power and replenishing the energy needed by the body. Not only that, Qin Feng also found that farther away, countless roots pierced through the ground, entangled some monks in the first realm, and instantly sucked them dry and turned them into mummies. Even Shang Qian and others were not spared. If Longma had not taken them away from the sky in the first time, they would probably be in danger. In just a few breaths, hundreds of monks died under the roots of the demon king of the divine wood. Stop it quickly. Once it absorbs enough of the cultivator's essence, it will be fully revived. The 9 great kings were also trembling with fear at this time. The killing intention of the godly wood demon king was too terrible. If it was allowed to wipe out all the cultivators on the 2nd floor, it would be enough to make its combat power reach the top. At that time, they, including everyone present, would be in danger. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 821. Attack. In the Divine Tree Secret Realm, the 9 kings could no longer bear to watch. If they just waited for the Divine Tree Demon King to absorb enough energy, then the advantage they had just created by severely injuring the Divine Tree Demon King would be overturned. The 9 kings attacked fiercely. Between their palms and fingers, the weapons glowed. Under the blessing of the king's rune, they chopped at the roots of the Divine Tree Demon King. Crack! The Divine Tree Demon King shook violently, and its broken roots glowed in the void. Under the blessing of the rune, it was still extremely bright, as if they all had life and were engraved with mysterious symbols. At this moment, those roots twisted wildly in the void, absorbing the blood of countless monks to replenish the energy of the divine tree demon king. These broken roots were instantly connected back to the divine tree demon king, which significantly improved its blood and chi. The blood of these monks is an invaluable blood and flesh medicine for the demon king of the divine wood. When they reach this level of cultivation, they can regenerate their limbs, and the severed roots can be completely united to absorb divine power for the demon king of the divine wood. You must know that there are too many monks who have entered the second level of this secret realm. Not all of them have the strength of a great king. Those monks of lower levels can only become the prey of the demon king of the divine wood. The 9 kings were horrified. It was not enough for them to just chop the roots of the demon king of the divine wood. They must turn them directly into ashes to eradicate the roots. Although they originally did not want to take action, at this moment, in order to kill the demon king of the divine wood, they could only do their best. Buzz. At this moment, the void was glowing, and endless divine fire began to spread. The broken roots were burned by them and twisted in the void, making a harsh cry like a living being. Roar. The demon king of the godly twilight roared, and his whole body was glowing. As the guardian of the second layer of the secret realm, countless king monks wanted to snatch his jade, which was a provocation to him. Moreover, the other party joined forces to fight him to this point, which also made him furious and murderous. We need more sacrifices. The demon king of the godly wood roared, and his branches and leaves danced all over the sky, like a living being, and his transformed facial features also became extremely ferocious. Divine power surged in his body, and he fought against the 9 kings while harvesting the creatures in the second layer of the secret realm. Its body was so huge that it occupied a large core area of this secret realm. At this moment, there was also essence on the ground gathering towards it to replenish the energy needed in its body. But all this was far from enough, and it was not as good as the blessing of the 9 dragon mountains on its body. It was a pity that the heaven and earth formation owned by the 9 dragon mountains was destroyed by Qin Feng, and it was impossible to repair such a formation in a short time. Therefore, its hatred for Qin Feng was even deeper. It wanted to get Qin Feng's blood to replenish the energy in its body. Only in this way could it relieve its hatred. It had a clone, living on a root, which turned into a human form and danced in the void. Qin Feng did not want to confront the demon king of the divine wood directly. This was not his original plan, so he stepped on the thunder and walked, and disappeared with the white elephant in an instant. Only the human-shaped clone of the demon king of the divine wood was left, stunned and confused. Even the 9 kings who were paying attention to the movement here were unbelievable. This scene was like a fairy tale. Qin Feng's speed was so fast that even the 9 kings did not find the other party's movement trajectory. If such a thing were to be spread out, it would probably be regarded as a fairy tale by people, and no one would believe it. A cultivator from the vassal realm disappeared without a trace under the gaze of the godly wood demon king. Such a speed of movement is simply amazing. Qin Feng rode on the sacred beast white elephant and chose a quiet place, far away from the center of the second secret realm. Staring at the battle between the godly wood demon king and the 9 kings from a distance, his own spirit and energy state was adjusted to the peak, quietly waiting for the arrival of the decisive battle. The godly wood demon king and the 9 kings burst out with brilliant divine power, forming a terrible wave of energy, surging there. The infinite divine fire burned thoroughly, and the fighting power was so strong that it was white hot. These 9 kings were all born extraordinary. They were all the former prodigies of the ancient Holy Land. As living fossils, once they got serious, the fighting power they exerted was among the top. Facing the godly wood demon king who had reached the 9th level of the king, they fought with full strength. The king runes radiated in all directions with them as the center, turning the roots of the godly wood demon king into ashes. Qin Feng originally thought that the battle between the Demon King of the Divine Wood and the Nine Kings would last for several hours, but he didn't expect that it would take a whole night. After one night, the momentum of the Demon King of the Divine Wood and the Nine Kings weakened. In the end, the Nine Kings and the Demon King of the Divine Wood were both injured, and countless cultivators also fled from the second layer. During the battle, the nine princes took away 5 jade marrows and escaped from the secret realm. When everything calmed down, the guardian center of the second layer of the secret realm was devastated and covered with traces left after the war. At this time, on the body of the Demon King of the Divine Wood, it absorbed the divine power between heaven and earth, as well as the energy under the ground, to repair its body. As a last resort, it directly refined a fairy flower jade marrow to stabilize the fatal Dao injury. 6 of the 9 fairy flowers jade marrows disappeared directly, which was an extremely heavy loss for the Demon King of the Divine Wood. However, it is a 9th grade great master after all. Even if it is injured, it is not something that ordinary masters can deal with. The masters who were observing this place near the edge of the secret realm did not dare to confront it and could only leave in disgrace. And Qin Feng, he was waiting for this moment. The fairy flower jade marrow of the godly wood Demon King was too dazzling. If he was asked to enter the treasure mountain and return empty-handed, it would not be his style. So, Qin Feng immediately stepped on the thunder step to cross the void. In just a blink of an eye, he came to the top of the godly wood Demon King and reached out to grab the fairy flower jade marrow. Swish! Because Qin Feng's speed was too fast, and the godly wood Demon King was in a state of exhaustion after the battle with the 9 kings. In an instant, Qin Feng got 2 fairy flower jade marrows in his hands. He immediately put the jade marrows into the space and flew away. Swoosh! Qin Feng increased his speed to the limit. With the help of the 9 forbidden techniques, he shuttled through the void. He rushed out thousands of meters in the blink of an eye. How dare you, youngster! Such a scene made the godly wood Demon King furious. He didn't expect that after the 9 kings slipped away, someone would dare to snatch his jade. This was simply courting death. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 822. Although the Demon King of the Divine Wood was injured, he was still fighting. If he was entangled by it, even a powerful person like Qin Feng would find it very difficult. What's more, his cultivation has now reached the 6th level of the Lords, which is enough to crush his peers. In this trip to the secret realm, he has also obtained the Jade Marrow Immortal Flower he wanted, so there is no need to stay here for a long time. So, he stepped on the thunder step to cross the void and rushed to the exit of the 2nd level of the secret realm. However, the Demon King of the Divine Wood had no intention of letting Qin Feng leave. One of its branches covered the sky and turned into a long sword in the void, surging with the King Rune and piercing towards Qin Feng. The power was as high as the 7th level of the King, unparalleled. Such a scene made Qin Feng suddenly shocked. After fighting against dozens of great kings, the Demon King of the Divine Wood was so seriously injured, but he still had such terrible strength. If they met at their peak, even Qin Feng would probably die. Boom! The unmoving God King Light Shield fell on Qin Feng. Under the blessing of the 9 Forbiddens, his defense was extremely strong. The sword of the God Wood Demon King collided with Qin Feng's body and shattered on the spot, with a huge roar. It must be said that the God Wood Demon King was very powerful, but he still couldn't break Qin Feng's defense under the blessing of the 9 Forbiddens. With the blessing of the system and Pangu's blood, his power was too fierce. Although the God Wood Demon King slowed him down, he still couldn't stop him. In just a moment, Qin Feng came to the exit of the 2nd level of the secret realm. He was going to go to the 1st level to meet Shang Qian and the others. Swish! But at this moment, Qin Feng had just arrived at the entrance of the secret realm, and 9 great kings took action. Their moves were combined together and blasted towards Qin Feng. The 9 great kings saw that Qin Feng's power was too powerful. If he grew up, it would be a great danger to their holy land. Therefore, they were ready to kill him in the bud to prevent future troubles. Because of the sudden attack of the 9 great kings, Qin Feng accidentally hit one of them. The power of the 9 great kings was too amazing. Qin Feng was directly knocked out thousands of meters away and came to the center of the second level of the secret realm again. Such a scene made Qin Feng furious. Seeing that he was about to escape from the secret realm, he didn't expect to be secretly attacked by someone, which made him murderous. "I swear not to be a human if I don't kill you." Qin Feng roared, his voice rang in the secret realm, and the terrible sound waves were mighty here. His black hair was dancing wildly, like a demon god. You know, the 9 great kings can fight against the existence of the demon king of Shenmue. They joined forces to attack secretly, and even Qin Feng's blood was boiling and he couldn't bear it. Puff! Qin Feng spat out blood on the spot, and light surged around him, and the blood floated in the void. In an instant, a branch pierced through the body of the demon king of the divine wood, catching all of Qin Feng's blood, wanting to refine it for his own use and find out Qin Feng's innate magical powers. In this situation, Qin Feng naturally couldn't let it do what it wanted, otherwise, if the other party got his blood, under the blessing of Pangu's bloodline, the other party would probably evolve into a very terrifying state. In the first moment, a phoenix flew out from Qin Feng's body, and the phoenix swooped down and ignited the root on the spot. Under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, it was directly burned into ashes. At the same time, the demon king of the divine wood rose from the ground, and it turned into a human-shaped tree demon, blocking Qin Feng's way in mid-air. "Boy, you are just a 6th level vassal, and you want to attract my jade. You are still too young." The demon king of the divine wood was suspended in the air, with branches and leaves surging around it. Its 2 roots turned into arms and pierced Qin Feng, with the king runes intertwined on them. At this time, its cultivation level could be used to the rank of 7th grade king. In its opinion, even if it was injured, it could easily suppress the human in the vassal domain in front of it. However, Qin Feng was in a rage this time. He was attacked by a great king and was very angry. And the demon king of the divine wood in front of him actually wanted to devour his weeping blood, which made him even more angry. At this moment, he was not going to escape again, but went out with all his strength and attacked the opponent fiercely. The immortal sword flowed in his hand with brilliant light, which was extremely dazzling. The immortal sword broke through the void, and the supreme heaven-slaying sword technique, under Qin Feng's wielding, was really powerful beyond imagination. At this time, Qin Feng actually blocked the attack of the demon king of the divine wood, and was not at all inferior. The opponent was so young, but his fighting power was beyond imagination. His qualifications exceeded those of the general great accomplishment king. This qualification really shocked the demon king of the divine wood. Qin Feng took the initiative to attack. He stepped on the thunder and walked on the spot, turning into a lightning, and fought fiercely with the demon king of the divine wood. The sword energy in the sky was soaring, and the demon king of the divine wood covered the sky and the sun, covering this place. It must be said that this demon king of the divine wood was really terrifying. After suffering such a serious injury, the king rune was also extremely bright and his fighting power was amazing. The entire second level of the secret realm was shaking, and countless runes were connected together to form a killing array, trying to refine Qin Feng into ashes. Qin Feng was in the king rune. He did not move the god king's cover. The light cover reached its extreme under the blessing of the 9 forbidden. The light of the killing array collided with Qin Feng's light shield, making a clanging sound, but it could not break Qin Feng's defense. This is an amazing spectacle. A young cultivator of the 6th level of the feudal realm can actually fight against the demon king of the divine wood. This kind of attitude of going against the flow and attacking the immortals is really shocking. Some great kings near the 2nd floor were horrified. They looked at Qin Feng's heroic figure in the sky like a demon god, and they all felt incredible. The other party, a mere young man, could actually use magic to such an extreme state, which was simply enviable and shocking. What a terrible young man, he can actually fight against the demon king of the divine wood with the realm of the feudal realm. This kind of talent is probably able to suppress all the geniuses in Dongzhou, and I am afraid that the holy son of Kandi City cannot match it. This person suddenly appeared, and he is definitely not an unknown person. Who will the other party be? Some king cultivators talked about it. Qin Feng's performance was too amazing, which made them really too amazed. At this moment, in their eyes, Qin Feng's talent was hurt to a certain extent. They believed that this boy's talent was probably a peerless genius among millions. Such qualifications are already stronger than the saints of some ancient holy lands. Only the top geniuses in the various states of the ancient continent can compete with him.